and salutations, my dearest friends. My name is Samantha, and today I'm going to be doing a book haul. I have some really pretty special editions, some gifts that I got from friends, and I'm really excited to show you all of the books that I got recently. Hello, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute since I filmed a book haul. You guys already know my shelves. I have no space on my shelves. Like, they're so disorganized. I desperately need to organize them. Let me know actually if you guys would like to see kind of like a series of me curating my bookshelves and really diving in and organizing them. I love having a lot of books, but I have kept some books that I had since like the 2nd grade, so I just need to organize them a little bit better. I don't know where that rant came from. I need to organize my shelves. Let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in seeing, like an updated book tour. Moving on, today we're going to be talking about some books that I got recently. I have some special editions that I'm really excited to show you because they're so pretty. I went on a bookish trip with some of my best friends and I bought some books there. I got some books for my birthday, so it's like a mosh posh of things. Mosh posh? Is that a word? Mosh posh? I feel like that's a word. Anyways, it is a collection of different books. Cozy mysteries, historicals, fantasies, the list goes on and on. Let's go ahead and jump in because apparently I am in a really chatty mood. It has been a hot minute since I have filmed a book haul. I'm trying to remember what I have showed you guys because I know sometimes I will unhaul books in reading vlogs. If you have seen me talk about some of these books already, pretend you didn't. I don't know what to tell you. Let's go ahead and talk about some special editions. I have a couple to show you, but they're actually all by Sophie Lark. Sophie Lark actually did a few special editions at like various book signings and also with some book boxes, and I was lucky enough to snag all of them. You guys know that I'm the biggest Sophie Lark fan. I absolutely adore her. Sophie writes like a little bit of everything. She writes mafia romance with her Brutal Birthright series and her Kingmaker series. Also has a fantasy Anastasia retelling, some contemporary romances. So she does a little bit of everything, and I tend to really enjoy all of her books. Just love her. I'm the biggest fan. As you guys know, I have quite a few bookish tattoos inspired by her books. I have a whole shelf dedicated just to her books, so of course I'm going to pick up any special edition I can. The first one I know I showed in a reading vlog, but it really deserves another moment because it is absolutely stunning. Now, this is a special edition that Sophie Lark did a long time ago. It is an edition of Brutal Prince, which is one of my favorite books by her. It's a mafia enemies to lovers romance. I think this was done with Dangerous Romance Club. I think this was released prior to me starting to pick up her books, and I didn't even know this was a cover. And when I found out that it was a special edition I missed out on, I was so devastated until my really good friend Jessica from Piece of Books was so kind enough to send it to me. She had it in her collection and she sent it my way, and it is so freaking special. If you guys have never read Brutal Prince, it is the first book in the Brutal Birthright series, which is one of her most popular series. It follows Ada, our heroine, who is from the Italian mafia, and Callum, our hero, who is from the Irish mafia. The two of them do not get along whatsoever. Ada ends up crashing a party at Callum's house and almost ends up setting the house on fire. So Callum is real pissed, okay? He is so pissed off. Kind of avoid a turf war, and to put an end to this rivalry, their parents end up meddling and setting them up into an arranged marriage. Kind of forced to get along because of the arranged marriage, and it's such a good enemies to lovers romance. Also a really good start to the series. By any chance you've never read Brutal Prince, I highly recommend it, and I love this whole series, so I'm very excited to have this stunning, gorgeous copy. And then more recently, she came out with this edition of Brutal Prince, which is a hardcover. Sophie Lark herself was kind enough to send this to me, and I was so happy because I was not at the signing that this was available at, and I was going to be so bummed if I missed out on it. I feel like this book right here, this cover, is just like me. If I want to be anything, I want to be this cover. I have quite a few strawberry tattoos. I have one here on my arm, another one here on my arm because of Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. So like this cover is just so special. Everything about it is so perfect, and look at these like foiled edges, so stunning. And then inside there is character art as well. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. There's also chapter art. Stunning. Like, I love it so much. Anyways, moving on, another edition I got was Grimstone. This was a collaboration with Maya Reads and Spice and Eternal Embers that Sophie Lark did. What I thought was really cool about this edition is that there's like I don't know how to describe it. It's like in this box and it has this beautiful design and then the book slides right in there. So it's kind of like you get two really cute designs. Let me open it for you guys. This is what the copy of Grimstone looks like. Here are the sprayed edges. Of course, there's also some gorgeous art inside as well as like inserts to put in the book as well. Look how pretty that is. Sophie Lark always has amazing chapter art in her books. Eternal Embers did another book box and collaboration with Sophie, but this was with Larry from Larry Reads. She had a whole book box, but I only got this one because it was the one I wanted the most. This is a special edition of the Siners Duet. It's a bind up of both books from the Siners Duet, which is a dark romance, and it is really stunning. Sorry for like the glare. The plastic is still on here because I didn't want to unbox it quite yet, but I'll make sure to do like close-ups and things like that so you guys can see the covers. And then the last Sophie book that I got was another Sinners bind up. One was a Polycon signing exclusive edition that Bloom did. I did not go to that signing and I was texting, messaging everyone that I could, like, please can someone find this book for me? It is so stunning. It sold out so fast, but my friend Lacey actually surprised me on my birthday. She managed to snag one for me and I just treasure it. Like, oh my gosh, this is so stunning. I like how it is a bind up of the two books. I love the cover. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So excited to have that. Thank you, Lacey, for snagging that edition for me. I love you so much. My Sophie Lark shelf is looking mighty fine these days because of all these gorgeous editions that I got to add to it. So I'll show you guys how I have like that shelf set up, but those were some of the special editions I had. Let's move on. I filmed this video at the perfect time because I actually just got a bookish package. This is a package from Tessa Hail. You guys know I love Tessa Hail. She predominantly writes reverse harem, paranormal, and fantasy books that are just so good. So she just released the last installment of her paranormal series. It's the Dragons of Ember Hollow series, which is a reverse harem dragon shifter romance. It's a trilogy, so this is the third book. First book in that series is called Twilight of Embers, and I did give it 5 stars, so I'm happy to finish the trilogy. This is Dawn of Flames. It is a stunning hardback with gorgeous sprayed edges. And then the package also came with these really cute socks and also a bag with the same design. So very happy to have that. Next up, I have a couple of fantasy books that I got recently. The first one was a birthday gift from my friend Desiree. It is All the Hidden Paths by Fae Meadows. This is a part of a fantasy series. The first book is called A Strange and Stubborn Endurance, which is a male-male fantasy romance. It is amazing and so emotional, and the magic system is wicked cool. So I'm excited to have the second book in my collection. I actually haven't picked up the second book yet. I'm a little nervous with the way the first book ended, but I'm excited to get to it, so thank you, Desiree. This next one I got off of the recommendation of my friend Sarah. You guys know I have been in a fantasy mood recently, but before this I was never really a fantasy girly, so I feel like I haven't read a lot of popular fantasy romances. This one Sarah said she has heard nothing but great things about. It's called Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. So if you guys want to see a reading vlog on this one, because I know it's a pretty popular book, let me know, but I'm excited to check it out. I got this at a Half Price Books, I think. On that trip I also picked up 5 Broken Blades by my Corland? I'm not sure. This is stunning. Like, look at these sprayed edges. All these sprayed edges, I think first I like a Barnes & Noble, and I convinced myself I didn't need them. And then I went on the trip and I saw it again and I was like, actually, I do need this because it's stunning. Let me know if you guys have read this fantasy book and what you thought about it, but come on. I love that publishers are now doing sprayed edges so often. We're getting gorgeous first releases and you don't have to necessarily like sign up for a book box or pay a ton for shipping. Like, you could literally just go to Barnes & Noble and get a stunning sprayed edge. I am also kind of curious how book boxes are going to make things like fun and exciting, though, that now publishers are starting to do really, really pretty editions like this with these sprayed edges. And like, look at the art inside. So freaking stunning. Look at that. Oh my god, so pretty. On that trip, of course, we had to visit the Nora Roberts bookstore, and I had to get a Nora Roberts book. Just, you know, for the memories. I ended up getting a paperback edition of The Search. This is a romantic suspense that I know Jessica really loves. So I picked this one up off of her recommendation. Very excited to read it. I haven't read too much Nora Roberts' books. I am very familiar with her In Death series that she writes under J.D. Robb, but I think I've only read one other Nora Roberts book. I'm excited to kind of dive into it. Let me know if you have any favorite Nora Roberts books that you think I should be checking out. I definitely want to read this one called The Search, and then I have another one here that I got a while ago. I think I picked this up from like a thrift store. This is called High Noon. Looks like that. So I definitely want to read these two, maybe in a reading vlog, but let me know what else I should read by Miss Nora Roberts. We were at her bookshop. There was a section of free books, so I picked up a couple. I thought that was fun. I got The Dragon's Bride by Katie Roberts. This is a monster romance between a dragon and a human. The next one I got is The Secret Lives of Country Gentlemen by KJ Charles, which is a male-male historical romance. And then lastly, I got We Could Be So Good by Cat Sebastian, which is another male-male romance. I did a lot of book shopping on this trip. I picked up 2 more books. I also picked up Do Your Worst by Rosie Danan. This is an enemies to lovers contemporary romance that I have heard a lot about, and I also really love the cover, so I had to snag this one up. And then I also got Helen Gone by Tal Bauer. I've never read this one. I have read most of Tal Bauer's backlist though, and I love his books. They're male-male romances that are just so emotional and romantic, and I love everything I read by him. So when I saw this, I grabbed it immediately. Well, actually, no, I think Christy saw this, and she knows how much I love Tal Bauer. So she was like, hey, do you want this? I was like, absolutely. Anytime I go to the bookstore, I do always look at the classics selection. Obviously, I predominantly read like romances and cozy mysteries. I do really enjoy collecting classic books, especially my favorites. And one of my favorite classics of all times is Dracula. If you guys didn't know, I do have a Dracula tattoo. Wrong arm. Embarrassing. I can't even remember what arm my tattoo was on. I have a little bat right here for Dracula, and I have quite a few different editions of Dracula on my shelf. I found this one at a used bookstore. Jessica was also getting rid of some of her coloring books, so she gave me a bunch of coloring books. I just love all of the cozy hobbies, so whenever I'm listening to an audiobook, I do love to color. What I wanted to really show you guys though is the Dracula one. Like, so freaking pretty. Love that. Also a Wuthering Heights one, a Romeo and Juliet one, a Pride and Prejudice one. So these are a lot of coloring books, but I will go through them very quickly because I always color whenever I listen to audiobooks. I have a couple more books to go through. I feel like this video is so long because I'm so chatty, but a lot of these were gifts for my birthday. So speaking of Jessica, she also gave me these 2 cozy mysteries by Ellie Alexander. It is The Body and the Bookstore and A Murder at the Movies. This is the first 2 books in her Secret Bookcase mystery series. I already read the first one and I gave it 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. Those are heroine Annie, who works at a bookstore in a small town in Northern California. Her and the employees at the bookstore are really struggling to kind of like make ends meet in a way to gain more business for the bookstore, more readers, and also more business for the town as well. She ends up hosting a mystery festival. The bookstore, as well as some small businesses in the town, are participating, and it ends up bringing in a ton of people to the town, particularly some people that she went to college with. However, one day at the bookstore, she finds her old college roommate dead in the bookstore. Bum, bum, bum. So she needs to figure out who did it, what's going on. There is also a little bit of a mystery from her past that hasn't been solved yet. She ends up working with the lead detective on the case because it was her old criminology professor. Really like this one. Our heroine was so fun to read about. I wouldn't even call her an amateur sleuth because she did have criminology background. She was just so smart, and I feel like I could read a whole series about her for sure. So the second one is A Murder at the Movies. I'm currently reading this one right now, and I'm excited for a new Ellie Alexander series. You guys know she's one of my favorite cozy mystery authors. This next one my friend Desiree got for me. This is Don't Want You Like a Best Friend by Emma R. Albin. This is a sapphic historical romance. Kind of has like a Parents Trap trope to it almost. Both of our characters have single parents who kind of like each other, so they're trying to get their parents together, and they end up falling for each other. Friends, lovers, sapphic historical romance, lots of fun. This next one my friend Christy from Christy Reads a Lot gifted to me. This is Can't Spell Treason Without T. This one is a cozy fantasy book, and I also think it is a sapphic romance as well. It has these really pretty sprayed edges, also some really fun art right there. The next one is another sapphic book, and this one was gifted to me by my friend Tori from Novel Life. This is How You Get the Girl, which is a contemporary romance. One of our heroines ends up coaching a high school girls basketball team. She ends up falling for one of the girls' foster parents. She's teaching them. Did that make sense? I do love this cover. This color of orange is actually my personal favorite color ever, so I love the way this cover looks. Next one was a gift from my friend Kimberly from Kimberly's Book Corner, so thank you so much. This is Spookly Yours by Jennifer Chipman. This one just looks like such a cozy Halloween-themed contemporary romance. I know a lot of people who have read this and absolutely loved it. So even though we're in the middle of summer, I still want to read it now because I am so ready for fall and winter vibes. And like, come on. Look at this cover. Adorable. I do want to read more from that author. I know she has like a space one as well that I cannot wait to get to. Then the last couple of books are some historical romances that I picked up. The first one is Beyond the Highland Mist by Karen Marie Moaning. I picked this up at a used bookstore because this is actually one of our historical Hellions pick. Thought I had one, but again, my shelves are a crazy mess, so I grabbed this one. I also picked up 2 copies by Shanna Galing. She writes the Survivor series, which is one of my favorite historical romance series ever. Those are heroes who are a group of friends that fought in the war with Napoleon, and they were a part of a very specialized unit that was so dangerous, and a lot of them died from it, didn't make it out, and the remaining men are called the survivors. So it kind of follows them as they're finding their separate romances, also healing from all of the trauma they went through in the war too. So I love the found family trope. I think the whole series is absolutely brilliant. So I picked up No Earls Allowed, which was probably my favorite book in the series, and then An Affair with a Spare. The last book I picked up was by Carolyn Byrne, and I literally picked this up because it had the most gorgeous cover. It had a bathtub on the cover, which is kind of a joke because I have another book that has a bathtub on the cover that I thought was so beautiful, and we read it for the historical Hellions, and it turned out that book wasn't that great, but it's fine. It had a pretty cover, so I picked this one up just for fun as well. Alright, so those are some books that I have picked up within like the last 2 or 3 months. I'm kind of excited that I filmed this book haul because now I can put them away on my shelves. Yeah, thank you to all of my sweet friends who sent me a birthday gift or a gift just because. You guys are so freaking sweet, and I love you and this bookish community so much. So yeah, thank you guys for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. It means the world to me. I hope you guys are all staying happy and healthy, and I will see you in my next video.